Welcome to the instructional video for the C-57W handset. This is a touchscreen colour display phone and gives us the ability to work in two modes. Either standard mode, which gives us the ability to see 10 other users, or we can press the more key and go into reception mode, which allows us to view 28 extensions. The extension status allows us to see when other people are on the phone or not, and as you'll see as we work through this, a simple way to hold and transfer calls. The display is tiltable, so if you are getting glare from your overhead lights, you can just push the display down or up to change the pitch on it. And it's a wireless enabled phone, so if you don't want the phone plugged in on a physical cable, then you can associate it onto your Wi-Fi network and have a truly cordless phone. So I think we'll start by just going through some internal calls, making and receiving an internal call. If I need to make a call to another user, say I want to call extension 203, I can just simply press the button. Their phone rings, they answer, and we're talking. I've left the handset down for the purposes of the demonstration and we're on hands-free, but I could just as easily as use the handset or your headset. To receive a call from an internal party, that call comes in, I can see I'm getting a call from extension 203, and I just pick up my handset to answer, and that's it. You can see we're getting our HD symbol up the top here because we are on network with our HD codecs, which means we're getting ultra high quality speech. So what happens with calls from the outside world? Let's push a call in from outside and have a go at holding and transferring calls. Call comes in from the outside world. I can see the caller ID of the person who's calling me, and I just pick up the handset to answer. If I need to pop that person on hold, just press the hold key, hang up the receiver, and I can leave them on hold for as long as I want, and when I'm ready to retrieve that call, I just press the resume key, pick up my handset to bring that caller back. If I was to transfer this call to another user, I can simply choose the person I want to transfer the call to and press their button. The end user goes on hold, and I make an internal call. I announce who the call is, and when the receiving party says they're ready to receive the call, I just press the transfer key and that call's completed. I can see my colleagues on the phone because their head has gone from green to red, and when that call completes and they finish, then I can see they're now green again, which means they're available to receive another call. So there, we've covered off our basics. We've done make, receive, hold and transfer. I have just thought of one other. What would happen if we tried to transfer a call and the end user didn't want to take the call? So I'm just going to push another call into the phone system to show you that. We answer our call. We press the button to transfer the call through, and our colleague answers. They say they're not available to take that call at the moment and they'll call the user back in later. So my other party hangs up, and all I simply do is press the resume key to bring that caller back and tell them we'll give them a call back later. Let's spend a couple of minutes talking through some of the other features of the handset. We're going to focus on these four to start with at the bottom of the display. And let's start with call log. Call log allows us to scroll through up to 50 of our last numbers, whether they be made, received or missed. We can look at our missed calls list, calls that we've made and calls that we've received. Scroll down the list, find the person we want to call back, click on the button, and the handset will dial the number for us. Just going to go back on that. Next to that we have directory. We have the ability to upload your directory into the telephone system to allow you to easily dial regular numbers. Having said that, by using Communicator with your PC, you're going to get the ability to be able to dial numbers directly from a web page or Outlook or whatever else you're storing your numbers in. To activate Do Not Disturb, you just press the DND button. Whilst in Do Not Disturb, you can still make calls, but you can't receive internal or external calls until you remove Do Not Disturb. Everything else is controlled through the menu function. This could be changing the brightness on your display. It could be changing the ringtone that you have on your handset. But as you can see by working through these menus, they're very simple and easy to use. And do remember, when you're making changes within this menu, you're only changing settings on your own handset, so it won't affect what anybody else is doing. So we don't have very many keys to talk through on this phone, but I think we're going to start with the panel down the right hand side here. The handset is Bluetooth enabled, so we can associate it with a Bluetooth headset. We can also plug in a cabled headset, and you can answer and receive calls just by pressing on the button. Next to that we have a mute key. You'll know when you're in mute because the light will be lit up bright red. And whilst you're in mute, it simply turns the microphone off in your handset. Do keep in mind, if you're going to be on mute for a couple of minutes, that the end user who's calling into you will just be hearing complete silence in mute. If you think it's going to be a while, it's always worth getting in the habit of putting them on hold. The button below that is our last number redial list, and that allows us to scroll through all of the calls that we've made today, select the call we want just by double clicking on the button, and that will return that call. Underneath that we have the speakerphone key. We can control it with the volume to turn the volume on the speakerphone up and down. But the speakerphone volume can also be controlled for the handset, so we can turn the mic volume in the handset up and down, and if the phone's ringing, then we can turn the ringer volume up and down as well. On this side we have more hold and transfer keys. Now you'll notice when I was holding and transferring earlier, I didn't use these keys, I controlled everything through the display. And that would be our recommended solution as the simplest way to make use of the handset. Underneath that we have our voicemail.
Please enter your PIN.
Voicemail is the same as voicemail would be on your mobile. You can go in, change your personal greeting, and then personalise your voicemail so that you can decide when people drop into voicemail and when they don't. Voicemail messages can also be transferred to emails, so when somebody does leave a voicemail message, you will receive an email notification or an email with the voicemail attached so that you can listen to the message without even touching your phone. I hope you found that brief run through on the C-57 handset useful. If you have any other questions, then please drop us a line and we'll be pleased to answer any questions.